So there's so many things that are coming to me this morning. It's actually a little bit hectic. So I'm seeing my Dear card from this deck. I've got a song playing round and round in my head. I want to say it's like, I think it's either Hannah Montana or Lizzie McGuire. This is what dreams are made of. But then I'm also seeing some things to do with water and healing. So there's a lot going on. So let's connect it in with this energy. We've got Capricorn here. I am excited for this reading because it feels like it's going to be more positive, and the readings have been really heavy lately. So whoever's a part of this collective, you've obviously closed down a cycle, because the song that's playing for me makes me think that you're so close to achieving some kind of dream or something that you've been working towards. Right, let's get some signs. Who's this reading for, please? I'm starting with my astrology deck. So we can get some signs as to who's a part of this collective. So we've got air here. So air signs may be significant. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and we also have Scorpio. So interesting, because I was talking about water as well, that there's something to do with water and healing that is important with this collective, but it might come out further in the reading. But water is likely very healing for you. Who else is a part of this collective, please? Let's just see if there's any other signs coming out. Oh, so then we know. And we've got, oh, Capricorn did come out. Interesting. And we've got Cancer as well. So water signs are definitely significant, earth and air. So, I mean, that's quite a lot, isn't it? But specifically, Scorpio, Capricorn and Cancer is significant here. Right. I'm going to go to my animal deck because I'm seeing the deer. I've been seeing that deer card since I woke up this morning. So that is the card that represents the divine feminine within this deck, but it's also very strong mother energy. It can actually point towards like a birth. So I mean, this doesn't need to be a physical birth of a child, but it can be that there's something that you're birthing, which is potentially this dream that I feel like you're on the threshold, on the precipice of this dream, but there were cycles that needed to close out first. Right, what's the energy that my collective is sitting in at the moment, please? Let's see what's going on in your energy at the moment. So straight away, you've come out with dolphin energy. So you are somebody that's very connected. You're very connected through frequency. In fact, let me read this. So you're someone that's very connected through frequency. Dolphins are very spiritual creatures, aren't they? Hang on, let me read this, because I feel like there's something in here. But you are at a crossroads at the moment with this tarantula energy. So you are about to start walking down this new path towards your dream. So the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts. This is why I was seeing the water. So you might be somebody that is naturally a healer. You may even be a healer. That might be what you do for work. That's why the water is connecting in. So water signs are going to be significant here. Drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact that they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on its way. You have a blessing that's on its way to you. There's some kind of dream that you've been working towards that I think you're literally about to achieve. But I say you're at a crossroads at the moment with this tarantula card here, because this is about being at a crossroads, but I think you're already on the path. I think you were at a crossroads, but now something has shifted in the energy and you've started to walk down that path. You've been going through a huge transformation. Like, you may have even been experiencing like some kind of kundalini awakening here with the snake coming out. But that dolphin, there's something about healing here. There's something about those energies that is very significant for you. You have teacher, like mentor sort of energy as well. So that makes me wonder whether you've been leaning towards like moving into mentorship. And I wonder whether that links in with the healing. Whether that's something that you did as a practitioner before, but now you're looking to move into teaching more. There's something about mentorship, there's something about teaching, that you're moving more into that sort of energy. So where before I think you were potentially not doing that sort of thing, like not helping to guide other people, teach other people in that same like genre that you're working in. Whereas I think now you're sort of reaching a stage where you're craving more, you're wanting more from your journey, you're wanting more from life. And I think you're leaning more now into moving into mentorship, teachership. But there's something here with the moth energy that you just need to be a little bit aware of, that you're not, moth energy is the grass is greener elsewhere. So with that, what I'm being told is keep your eyes on your goal. So I don't know whether you get slightly distracted by other people that are around you and what they're doing and thinking, oh, that looks exciting, maybe I'll go in. But you're being encouraged to stay on your path, stay in your lane for what it is that you were focused on, because that's what you're meant to be working towards. And you're going through a stage at the moment where you're going through like healing and purification. So again, with the healing is very significant to you at the moment. So you've likely just closed down a massive cycle. And because of that, you're going through this deep, I'm hearing purging. You're almost purging those, oh, confirmation. You're almost purging. Who are you growling at? Sorry, my dog's growling at someone out the window. You're almost purging those energies out of you now and going through this huge healing sort of stage, which is leading you into this mentorship. Hang on, let me check what's going on. Sorry. So you're going through this stage of purification, okay, but where you were at a crossroads, what you were doing before, you've been slightly shifted because you were slightly out of alignment. That wasn't the path that you were meant to be on. And I think you were potentially overthinking about that, and you were stuck in old thought patterns, rigid thought patterns with this fire ant clarifying your crossroads. But I think you couldn't quite see that clearly, and you couldn't quite see that you needed to turn from that. But you have now, and you've started to walk down this new path of possibility. So you've started to see that there were other paths that you could be on as you've gone through this transformation. And you're someone that is incredibly spiritual. So you're someone that's naturally very, very grounded to the earth, but you're really connected in with those higher energies, with your guides, with your ancestors. And with the owl on the bottom of the deck as well. This is about some kind of reward coming towards you, some kind of boon coming in, but also just that you can see, you have the sight. So you're likely somebody that has clairvoyant abilities. You have very deep healing abilities. You're very connected to frequency, and you're really just stepping into this level up where you're moving more towards mentorship and teaching and being able to guide other people through their journeys. I'm going to switch now to, my eyes are being drawn. I can feel that I'm receiving downloads as well. Even as I'm talking, there's more stuff that's coming through. This feels very significant. But my energy is starting to feel tired now. So I think you've been on this journey for quite... I've got twin for them. I think you've been on that. This could be why you felt slightly misaligned before. This could be what the crossroads is about. Interesting. I didn't expect that to come out then. Interesting. Right, what's around my collective's energy at the moment, please? What's happening with their spiritual upgrades? You're going through a massive spiritual upgrade, I think. There's something is coming towards you. There's been some kind of shift. There's some kind of new beginning. There's some kind of new energy that's coming towards you. I thought this was to do with your spiritual journey, but that twin flame card on the bottom of the deck has thrown me off. So you're really connecting in with your intuition at the moment and your unconscious mind. I think there's things that you're noticing that you've never noticed before in terms of your lessons. And it's bringing this new beginning towards you. There's things that you've learnt. There's some kind of knowledge that you've gained. And it's to do with rewards and temptation. So there might have been something that you were being tempted with before. But you are going through a massive upgrade. So you are stepping towards enlightenment. This is really interesting. There's things that are being illuminated to you at the moment. So through your subconscious, through your intuition. And that's what's helping to bring about this new beginning, to bring this dream, whatever this is, towards you. And again, with the healing energies, there's something that is so significant about healing at the moment with you. And it's to do with water. Specifically a well. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody, because I'm just here to pass on the messages. I'm just here to be a channel. So this should make sense to you. If you're a part of this collective, this will make sense to you. So if it doesn't, it's not your collective. There's something to do with a well that is really significant. You're someone that's very connected to nature as well. With the river, the flowing river, water is significant. You may be a water sign. You may have a significant water placement. You might be like a water rising. That's Scorpio. You're potentially a Scorpio rising here in this reading. But there were things you needed to learn. And you have learnt that now. And it seems to be linking to temptation. There's something about that temptation. And that you have learnt. And it's the healing. It's the knowledge that you've learned. And then almost healing that within you. That is bringing this new opportunity. This dream towards you. It's unlocked a door. There's a message coming through to you. That's 2 cards for messages in a row. There's some kind of message, some kind of significant news that's coming towards you. If you've been waiting for some kind of message to come through, it looks like it's incoming. Again with the twin flames. I don't want to jump straight to this being a relationship, like a love reading, because I don't think that's the focus of this reading. It's about your spiritual growth, and that you're on the precipice of enlightenment, of turning a huge corner. And I think this is something that you've been trying to achieve for a long time. But it seems to be potentially linked to some kind of journey. Is this linked to a twin flame journey, please? This spiritual awakening. There's something here that's linking into this journey for you. The messages, there's messages coming from the unseen. There's communication that's coming. It's going to bring clarity. Right. Something is linking in to this. I'm going to go with my pop art tarot. Let's see. There's something that's... Oh, I can't get this up. There's something that's linking in to this, to your spiritual awakening. But whatever this is, I want to be very clear here before I start reading on this part of it. This is a very, very small part of your journey. The upgrades that you're going through, my voice is going as well, so that's clarification. I can feel it blocking. Your journey, the upgrades that you're going through at the moment, the like level up is so significant as to why you're here. And this, whatever this scenario is that's connecting into this, it's a tiny cog, I'm being told, in the wheels. It's a teeny tiny part, but it was an important part, because when you have those wheels that all connect into each other, if even one teeny tiny part is out of line, it stops everything from moving, doesn't it? So like, this is a small part of this massive journey for you, but it's still significant because it can halt. So what I'm seeing now is it's almost like that scenario ground everything to a halt, because there was something that you needed to realise in order for those wheels to start moving again, but they've started moving again. So there's something that you've uncovered, there's something you've discovered that you've become aware of. So again, if you're part of this collective, this will make sense to you, because you will have just discovered something. There would have been something that has just come into your awareness that you weren't aware of before. What is the situation that's connecting into this journey, please? Okay, so, I mean, this is connecting in to a relationship, a connection. I don't even really want to use the term relationship, because it was a very brief but intense romance. So, I mean, potentially some kind of twin flame situationship sort of thing. It's going to be something that was very brief. It would have felt very intense. A twin flame, a divine connection always does. And it taught you what you want from future love situations. It taught you what you want your cups to be filled with and what you absolutely do not want them filled with, what is not acceptable to you. So it's highlighted and strengthened your boundaries within connections, which is what that temptation is. So you were likely being tempted, like the temptation would have been placed there for you with this person who is potentially like the normal sort of person that you go for, that ends up being a little bit disastrous. But something has happened this time that has caused you to see, I don't want that anymore. I don't want my cups to be filled with that sort of energy. So it's highlighted to you what's important to you within a connection. So again, don't make that fit. And with the Star, so it really has. It's healed you from past situations. Again, with the healing energy. So it's like this whole scenario was brought in to heal you. So, and that's going to sound really backwards to you, because it's likely that this caused you a lot of emotional anguish, a lot of emotional pain. But that's why it came in. That was the whole purpose of it. So you could see exactly what you want your cups to be filled with and what you don't want in those cups. You're so aware now of the sort of energy that you need to be around you, that you need to sustain you, I'm being told. So this may have been very draining for you energetically as well. And it may have made you realise, I can't be in situations like this. Like, it's not suitable to my life. Like, look how this has drained me. Look how this has destroyed everything around me. I can't do that anymore. It's highlighted to you that you don't, which is why you've closed the cycle. This is all unfolding now. It's starting to make sense. That's why you've closed the cycle. Because you could immediately see, I don't want to be in this chaos anymore. I don't want to live in this sort of chaos. Whereas I think before, that was your normal type of connection. I think you have, I'm being told you've survived in chaos for far too long. That's what they're saying to me. You've survived in chaos for far too long. You needed to be broken free from that level of chaos to be able to move towards the dream that you're trying to achieve. It would have restricted you. It would have held you back. So this is another detail, so don't make this fit. So when you were in this connection with this person, it's likely that it pulled you from that dream, from that purpose. Whatever it is that you're working towards, this connection, it would have pulled you from that. So it would have turned your head a little bit. And I think it's, with this Star energy, I've got a feeling that it's your spiritual path that you were being turned from, that you were being pulled from. And so because this person is somebody that's very materialistic. They're very focused on finances, on financial gain. And I think that wasn't truly aligning with you. But you couldn't see it at the time, I'm being told. You couldn't see that at the time. And so then, so this situation has pushed you straight into hermit mode. So you have immediately taken a step back and reflected and gained self-awareness. Shifting your focus away from materialism. So you've immediately, I think, through the breakdown of this connection, recognized what was going on here, and you've turned inwards and thought, that wasn't me. Like, why did I get so pulled into that? But it's because of the temptation. They were trying to place temptation in your path to make you realize that you were being tempted by external things. And I don't think it's even fully, you were only being distracted by this person. I think there were other things that were distracting you, and that's why this has come in to highlight this to you. You're being pulled from what it is that you're meant, from your soul purpose. So they needed to highlight that to you, which is why it's come in as such a brief but intense connection, because it's like they didn't even want you to sit in that connection for long. They just wanted it to come in to highlight it to you so that you could move forward. Too many. Because you're, okay, so you're somebody that normally endures through relationships. So you're one of those people that would just constantly try to fight to make it work, make it better. You're constantly trying to persevere. So this would have been pulled from you in a way where you couldn't do that. So that you could see how different it, because immediately as this is broken down, this time you've gone into hermit mode, whereas normally you're sat in this energy of trying to persevere, trying to make it work. But we can fix this. Or I mean, it's potential. This is potentially coming from your healing energy of just wanting to heal everybody, but I can help them, I can fix them, I can make this situation work. Which just in turn leaves you completely depleted, drained. So they needed you to see this. So this was a lesson for you. This was to close out a cycle. With the Lovers coming out like that as well. Because there was no balance. There was no balance for you when it came to love. I think you were always the one putting in the effort. What are they saying to me? Something goes a mile. An F goes a mile? Something goes a mile. I can't hear them. I can't hear you properly. Something goes a mile. Sorry, I can't work out what that is. But yeah, so yeah, this was something you needed to heal within you. You were always staying in unfulfilling relationships because you're so resistant to change. You're somebody that doesn't like change. So you would just try and stick at it, constantly try and make it work. And that you needed to heal that within you. I'm seeing the well again now. There's something about this well and the fact that the water inside it is stagnant. It's not fresh. It's like you were healing yourself, but you were healing yourself in it. Again, hopefully this will make sense to whoever's a part of this collective. But it's like you were trying to heal yourself, but you're using that stagnant water that's within the well to heal yourself, and you need to move to flowing water. So that it's fresh. It's like you need to try new methods because the old things that you were doing weren't working. So that this is, I mean, I think this is you sat in the well energy, sat in the waters of the well, where you were constantly trying to make things work, constantly trying to, so the well is the healing of the relationship, okay? It's tricky because sometimes you have to make sense of what you're being shown. So that was you using old methods, just constantly trying to make things work, and you needed to remove yourself from that because you were just stuck in that stagnant water of the well, where you thought you're healing things, but you're not.